At Survivor Series 1993, Yokozuna believed no man could withstand his weight. The WWF champion drove The Undertaker into the steel steps. The Deadman barely reacted. Then came the Banzai Drop, a move that had ended countless opponents. But when Yokozuna attempted another, The Undertaker suddenly sat upright. For the first time, fear appeared on the champion's face. Their battle continued outside the ring until both men were counted out. The match ended. The conflict did not. The Undertaker had proven that Yokozuna's greatest weapon could not keep him down. Paul Bearer soon revealed the battlefield for their next encounter. At Royal Rumble 1994, Yokozuna would defend the WWF Championship in a casket match. The only way to win was to place the other man inside and close the lid. But Yokozuna feared caskets. The Undertaker knew it. Paul Bearer brought one before him as a warning. When Yokozuna finally approached it, The Undertaker emerged from inside. The champion recoiled in terror. The largest man in the WWF had discovered something heavier than his own body. The certainty that the casket was waiting for him. On January 26, 1994, Yokozuna entered the Providence Civic Center with Mr. Fuji and Jim Cornette. The WWF Championship was wrapped around his waist, but his eyes kept returning to the aisle. The gong sounded. Paul Bearer appeared first, wheeling the enormous casket toward the ring. It had been built wide enough and deep enough to hold the massive champion. Behind it walked The Undertaker. Slowly, silently, Bearer carried the urn while the Deadman followed the object meant to end the match. When the bell rang, Yokozuna's size offered no protection. The Undertaker staggered him with throat thrusts and clotheslines. He knocked the champion through the ropes. Outside the ring, Yokozuna tried to use a chair. The Undertaker took it from him and struck back. Mr. Fuji finally changed the momentum by throwing salt from his wooden bucket into The Undertaker's eyes. Yokozuna attacked with chairs, the steel steps, and a massive belly-to-belly suplex. But each time the champion believed the Deadman was finished, The Undertaker rose again. Even Yokozuna's power could not erase him, and the open casket remained beside the ring, waiting. The champion's offense grew more desperate. Yokozuna forced The Undertaker into the casket, but the Deadman fought his way out before the lid could close. Back inside the ring, Yokozuna struck with another crushing belly-to-belly suplex. The Undertaker sat up. He seized Yokozuna by the throat and drove him down with a chokeslam. Then came a running DDT. Paul Bearer raised the urn. The Undertaker rose with it. A final big boot sent Yokozuna tumbling backward into the casket. The champion was inside. The Undertaker reached for the lid. Then Crush entered the ring and attacked him from behind. The Great Kabuki followed. Then Genichiro Tenryu. The Undertaker knocked Kabuki and Tenryu down with a double clothesline. Bam Bam Bigelow charged into the fight next. 4 men now surrounded the challenger while Yokozuna remained inside the casket. Mr. Fuji used the chaos to steal the urn from Paul Bearer, but Bearer fought back. He recovered the urn and struck both Fuji and Jim Cornette. The power returned to The Undertaker. And against 4 attackers, the Deadman began fighting his way forward again. The Undertaker continued fighting. Bam Bam Bigelow grabbed Mr. Fuji's salt bucket. The weapon changed hands until The Undertaker used it against the men surrounding him. Then Atom Bomb entered. Jeff Jarrett followed, leaping from the top rope only to be struck by the bucket in mid-air. The Head Shrinkers arrived next. Samu and Fatu joined Crush, Kabuki, Tenryu, Bigelow, Atom Bomb, and Jarrett. Yokozuna climbed out of the casket and returned to the attack. Paul Bearer stood on the apron and lifted the urn. The Undertaker sat upright once again. He fought from inside the casket, blocking the lid with his arm before forcing his way back out. Then Diesel came down the aisle. 9 outside wrestlers had now joined Yokozuna. 10 men stood against one. Still, the Undertaker would not remain inside the casket. The army had delivered fists, boots, bodies, and weapons. Nothing had been enough. They had discovered the same truth that haunted Yokozuna from the beginning. The Undertaker could be knocked down. He could be surrounded. But while Paul Bearer controlled the urn, the Deadman continued to rise. Yokozuna finally understood what had to be done. He struck Paul Bearer and took the urn from his hands. The source of the Undertaker's power now belonged to the champion. Yokozuna raised the urn and smashed it into the Undertaker's skull. The metal casing bent from the impact. Then Yokozuna dropped it. Green smoke poured from the fallen urn and spread across the canvas. The Undertaker collapsed. For the first time, he did not sit up. The attackers moved in one after another. Crush delivered a suplex. Jeff Jarrett followed with a fist drop from the ropes. Diesel drove down a running elbow. Bam Bam Bigelow landed a diving headbutt. Samu came from the top rope with a splash. Then Fatu delivered another. The Undertaker lay motionless. The group lifted his body and rolled him into the casket. This time, no hand stopped the lid. It slammed shut. The lock was fastened. Yokozuna had retained the WWF Championship, but he had not defeated The Undertaker alone. It had taken the champion, 9 additional wrestlers, and the destruction of the urn's power to place the Deadman inside his own casket. The casket was locked. Yokozuna and the men who had helped him began wheeling it away from the ring. Then the Undertaker's music returned. The procession stopped. The lights flickered. Green smoke began leaking from beneath the casket. A spotlight fell across it. On the arena's video screen, the inside of the casket appeared. The Undertaker's eyes opened. "Be not proud." He declared that his spirit lived within the souls of mankind. He spoke of an eternal flame of life that could never be extinguished. Its origin could not be explained. The answer, he said, existed within the everlasting spirit. Then came the promise. "Soon all mankind will witness the rebirth of the Undertaker. I will not rest in peace." The screen shifted into an X-ray-like image. The image exploded in light. Above the video screen, the figure of the Undertaker began rising toward the ceiling of the Providence Civic Center. His body disappeared into the darkness above the arena. Yokozuna had retained the championship. The casket had been closed, but the Deadman had transformed defeat into prophecy. They had buried the Undertaker. They had not ended him.